All right, the LA Chargers loss to the Buccaneers just kind of gets even worse the more you dig into this. If you're new to the channel, we are Detroit Lions fans, but we have this channel talking nothing about Chargers, and so it kind of gives you an outsider's perspective into your team. And so you see, I got the hat on. I love this hat. Let's go. But here's the thing about this. We've been pretty honest on this channel about this team. We think you got to be pumped if you're a Chargers fan. You're in year one of this rebuild. And it's a rebuild because why would you get a new coach, new GM if it wasn't, right? This is year one of the new regime, and you're in playing meaningful football. However, this game is bad because not only do you lose, but you get blown out. And then it's just kind of like, oh, shoot. You kind of expose some things that you wondered about but weren't sure. So here's how it starts. Khalil Mack comes out afterwards, and he says that the Chargers were so bad against the Buccaneers that they disrespected the game of football. Whether it was the rushing attack that put up 200 yards or Baker Mayfield looking like an MVP candidate, the Chargers had no answer for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So like, okay, this is not good because the Chargers were the top-rated defense for quite a while. And so that's what you kind of hung your hat on. It was like, man, we're really good defense right out of the gates. Jim Harbaugh, year one. Well, there's been enough games played where you can look at it and you say, okay, Cincinnati Bengals dropped 27. The Baltimore Ravens, 30 points. Baker Mayfield, who's just kind of the perfect measuring stick quarterback. And what I mean by that is, it's like, oh, you might say that about like Lamar Jackson or Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen, but it's like that's not really a measuring stick quarterback. That's just a really good quarterback. Hopefully you can hang on and win, like the Lions tried to do, but like Josh Allen's on another level. Baker Mayfield's perfect because he's good. Got to give the guy credit, but he's not like out of this world. So it's like he's beatable. Let's see where you can manage him, and you couldn't do it. And so it says here that it's really a difference maker now that you're not playing against Aiden O'Connell, Spencer Rattler, Jameis Winston, Will Levis. These are some of the quarterbacks that the Chargers have gone against. So this is just like, shoot. We have gone against good quarterbacks this last 3 weeks, and I guess 4 weeks. 3 out of the 4, you went against good quarterbacks, and it's just like, shoot. Yeah, shoot. This is not good. We're not as good as we hoped. Not that we thought, but as we hoped. And what I mean by that is I think Chargers fans are smart enough to know we are in this year one rebuild. We have limited offensive weapons. Defensively, we're not bad, but are we the best defense in the league? Probably not. And let me know in the comments, I forgot to ask, what was most disappointing to you in this game? Let me know your thoughts. What were you most disappointed with? Because like I said, it's not that you thought you were the best defense. It's like I was hoping that as we got in later in the season that this defense could hold up and be really something. And it's like, oh, shoot, we're not top defense. That's okay. Can we just be top, middle of the pack and better? Like that's where they need to be, and hope that the offense can score some points. But the defense was giving up points. The offense couldn't really do anything. And so here's where it kind of gets a little worse if you're a Chargers fan, is you've got some immediate injuries after the game. You've got Cam Hart was kind of the most notable, went out with a concussion, never returned immediately like he's out. That's a key player for you. Got to have. Zion Johnson was hurt but came back. Quentin Johnson was hurt but came back. Those still are a little concerning after this because you've got injuries piling up. Everybody does at this time of year. But it's like, oh, man, these are starting to pile up. And here's the thing about Zion Johnson and Quentin Johnston is that I see this a lot with the Lions. They might have gone out, returned, or even played the whole game, but they have an injury. And Dan Campbell explained, like, once the adrenaline wears off, the tape comes off, the swelling starts, and it's like, shoot, you're out 3-4 days, and now you're into late week, and you can't play the next game. So something to keep an eye on. The injuries are mounting. The defense isn't as good as we thought. Here's another thing. The offense doesn't have the talent that we had hoped would kind of come together. It's Lad McConkey's really good. He's banged up. So it's like, oh my gosh. And then the final thing is the Chargers just kind of threw away a great playoff opportunity to really secure things. Now, with all that being said, the Dolphins lose. So the Chargers are still really good shape. So if you look at the NFL playoff picture, I'll pull that up right now. They're still in great shape, but had they won, they would basically they might have even clinched had they gone in. But that's kind of how big this game would have been. Let me pull it up here, and so you can see who has clinched so far. You've got if the playoffs were to start today, you'd have Kansas City, the 1 seed, and a bye. You'd have Buffalo Bills and the Chargers. The Chargers would be the 7 seed at 8-6. Now, here's what's great about this is, again, because Miami lost. I don't even like this chart. Hold on. I just kept rambling about nothing. Okay, because the Dolphins lost, you're still in great shape. And again, I think you got to be encouraged that through all of this, you're in the playoffs right now. So there the Chargers sit at 8-6. The Colts, oh my gosh, the Colts and the Dolphins lost. I forgot about the Colts. So the Broncos shockingly destroy the Colts. And I say that because the Colts were going in to go up, and Jonathan Taylor dropped the ball. Oh my gosh, season over. Unbelievable. So, yes, you still have a 2-game lead with 3 games to go. So, you just need to win one more game out of your 3, and you're in. So, I say all that to say, if you're a Chargers fan, you've got to be able to look at this and be like, I think we are what we kind of all thought we were, right? But better, really. We won against the teams we should have beaten. We were those teams that people were like, all right, we're playing the Chargers this week. We got to get this one. Like the Lions were that for years. So you're not that. You're beating the Raiders, right? Like you beat those teams. And then as free agency draft, a couple more cycles. But in the meantime, you're literally in the playoffs. Jim Harbaugh going to be fighting for it. And, oh, by the way, you have a franchise quarterback. So you're good. You're good. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Again, what were you most disappointed with in this game? Let me know your thoughts. Put it in the comments. Make sure you subscribe, and we'll see all of you on the next one.